Welcome to Breaking Ties Destination Divorce. This is your go-to source for practical advice and support while you go through the divorce process. Join us each weekday for a quick chat where we'll cover a variety of topics such as child custody, property division, and self-care. Together, we'll explore emotional, financial, and legal aspects of divorce and help you find the best path forward for you and your family. Here's your host and Certified Divorce Financial Analyst Professional, Mike Fulkerson.
Hi, and welcome back to Breaking Ties Destination Divorce. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. Today, we're exploring a critical aspect of the divorce process, and that is the court's view of children's well-being. Now, as we all know, divorce is a challenging and emotionally charged experience. And when children are involved, it might be more so. In the midst of legal proceedings and negotiations, the well-being of the children must remain the primary focus of both parents and, surprisingly, the court. So what exactly is the court's view of children's well-being during the divorce process? Well, let's start with the importance of understanding that family courts prioritize the best interest of the child above everything else. This means that the decisions regarding custody, visitation, and support are made with the child's welfare and safety as the guiding principle. The court does consider a wide range of factors when determining what's in the best interest of the child, and that might include the child's age, developmental needs, and preferences if they're old enough to express them. It'll also include the relationship between the child and each parent, including the level of involvement and support provided, the stability of each parent's home environment, and the ability to meet the child's physical, emotional, and educational needs. Any history of abuse, neglect, or substance abuse by either parent would be considered. The child's relationships with siblings, extended family members, and other significant individuals in their life. And lastly, the child's adjustment to any proposed custody or visitation arrangements. Now, in making custody and visitation decisions, courts strive to promote the child's continued relationship with both parents whenever possible, unless there are extenuating circumstances that would jeopardize the child's safety or well-being. It's important to note that the court's view of children's well-being extends beyond the immediate aftermath of the divorce. Courts recognize that children may experience emotional and psychological effects as a result of the divorce process, and they may take steps to minimize these impacts through counseling, therapy, or other supportive services. Additionally, courts may appoint a guardian ad litem or child custody evaluator to assess the child's needs and make recommendations to the court regarding custody and visitation arrangements. Ultimately, the goal of the court is to ensure that children are provided with a stable, nurturing environment where their physical, emotional, and developmental needs are met. This may involve creating a comprehensive parenting plan that outlines custody schedules, decision-making authority, and communication protocols between parents. That's going to wrap up our topic today. I want to thank you for joining me on this episode of Breaking Ties Destination Divorce. Should you have any questions on today's topic or other financial planning issues, feel free to reach out. Now, divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. Until next time, take care. Hello, and welcome back to Breaking Ties Destination Divorce. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. Today, in this episode, we're going to look into, a potential valuable resource for individuals navigating the divorce process, and that would be the divorce coach. We all understand that divorce is challenging and emotionally turbulent at times throughout the journey. And it's often accompanied by uncertainty, stress, and some very difficult decisions. In the midst of all this, a divorce coach can provide invaluable support and guidance to help individuals navigate the complexities of divorce with clarity and confidence. So, what exactly is a divorce coach, and do you need one during the divorce process? So, let's go with the first part of that. A divorce coach is a trained professional who provides emotional support, practical guidance, and strategic planning to individuals going through divorce. Unlike attorneys who focus primarily on legal matters, divorce coaches offer holistic support that addresses the emotional, psychological, and practical aspects of divorce. Now, one of the primary roles of a divorce coach is to help individuals manage the emotional toll of divorce. And, divorce is likely to evoke a wide range of emotions. I mean, it can include everything from grief, anger, fear, and sadness to happiness and joy. A divorce coach can provide, that safe and supportive space for individuals to express their feelings, process their emotions, and develop coping strategies to navigate the challenges of divorce. Now, in addition to emotional support, a divorce coach can also help individuals clarify their goals and priorities for the divorce process. By exploring their values, needs, and concerns, individuals can make informed decisions that align with their long term well being and best interests. A divorce coach can also assist individuals in communicating effectively with their ex spouse, attorneys, and other professionals involved in the divorce process. By fostering constructive dialogue and negotiation skills, a divorce coach can help minimize conflict and promote amicable resolutions to disputes when it all goes according to plan. Furthermore, a divorce coach can help individuals develop practical strategies for managing the, aspects of divorce, such as co-parenting arrangements, financial planning, and post-divorce adjustments. By providing resources, referrals, and practical advice, a divorce coach empowers individuals to navigate the listed logistical challenges of divorce with, that confidence. Now, the second part of that question, do you need a divorce coach during the divorce process? Well, it kind of depends. Not everybody may require the services of a divorce coach. Many individuals find value in having a knowledgeable and compassionate ally to help them guide them through this challenging time. So, whether you're grappling with emotional turmoil, navigating complex legal issues, or seeking clarity and direction, a divorce coach can offer personalized support and guidance tailored to your unique needs and circumstances. Ultimately, the decision to work with a divorce coach really is a personal one, and it's just going to, fall into that category of what are your circumstances, preferences, and goals for the divorce process. If you're feeling overwhelmed, confused, or unsure about how to proceed, consider reaching out to a divorce coach to explore how they can support you on your journey, towards getting through the divorce process. I'd like to thank you for joining me on this episode today of Breaking Ties Destination Divorce. Should you have any questions on today's topic or other financial planning issues, feel free to contact me using the information in the description. Divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. And until next time, have a good day. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Breaking Ties Destination Divorce. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. Today, we're going to explore a topic that affects many military families, and that is navigating the divorce process within the military. And divorce is a challenging journey for really any couple, but for military families, it can present unique complexities and considerations. From deployments to relocation and the intricacies of military law, the divorce process really could be quite daunting. So, how does the divorce process work for military couples? Well, let's start with it's essential to understand that the military divorces are governed by both state and federal laws. While the basic principles of divorce apply, there are specific provisions and considerations that apply uniquely to military personnel and their spouses. One of the primary considerations in a military divorce is jurisdiction. Military personnel and their spouses may be stationed in different states or even overseas, raising questions about which state has the authority to handle the divorce proceedings. Typically, military divorces are filed in the state where either spouse resides or in the state where the service member is stationed. However, there are exceptions and nuances to consider, especially for couples who have moved frequently due to military assignments. Once jurisdiction is established, the divorce process proceeds much like a civilian divorce, involving such issues as property division, child custody, spousal support, and child support. However, there are additional factors that military couples must address, and that includes the division of military pensions and benefits. The Uniformed Services Former Spouses Protection Act governs the division of military pensions and ensures that former spouses may be entitled to a portion of the service member's retirement benefits, depending on the length of the marriage and other factors. Another critical aspect of military divorce is the Service Members Civil Relief Act, which provides certain protections to active duty service members facing legal proceedings, including divorce. The SCRA may allow service members to request a stay or postponement of divorce proceedings while they are deployed or otherwise unavailable due to military service obligations. Child custody arrangements can also be complicated for military families, especially in cases where one parent is deployed or frequently relocates due to military assignments. Courts must consider the best interest of the child while also accommodating the unique circumstances of military life. Ultimately, military divorces require careful planning, lots of communication, and often the assistance of legal professionals who understand the intricacies of military law. Thank you for joining me today on this episode of Breaking Ties Destination Divorce. Should you have any questions on today's topic or other financial planning issues, look up my contact information in the description. Divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. And with that, take care. Hello, and welcome back to Breaking Ties Destination Divorce. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. Today, we are getting into a topic that has become increasingly relevant in the digital age, and that is the role of social media in the divorce process. So, as we know, divorce is a complex and multifaceted journey, often influenced, really by a range of factors. And that can include communication, trust, and personal boundaries. In recent years, the rise of social media has added a new layer of complexity to the divorce process, and that is shaping the way couples navigate their separation and the aftermath. So, how does social media play a role in getting a divorce? First, social media can serve really as a catalyst for conflict and misunderstanding within relationships, from innocent posts and comments to more provocative behavior. The online world can amplify existing tensions and exacerbate marital discord. It's really easy to get things blown out of perspective. Platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter provide, a window into our lives. It allows us to share moments, thoughts, and experiences with friends, family, and even strangers. However, what we choose to share, or in some cases overshare on social media, can have far-reaching consequences, especially during times of emotional upheaval. For many couples, social media can serve as a virtual battleground where disagreements and grievances are aired out for the world to see. From passive-aggressive status updates to incriminating photos and messages, the digital landscape can become a breeding ground for animosity and resentment. In some cases, evidence obtained from social media, such as incriminating photos, messages, or check-ins, can be used as evidence in divorce proceedings, particularly in cases involving allegations of infidelity, financial misconduct, or unfit parenting. Moreover, social media can also impact child custody arrangements, as courts may take into account a parent's online behavior and presence when making decisions about custody and visitation rights. But really, it's not all doom and gloom. social media can also serve as a valuable tool for support and connection during the divorce process. Online support groups, forums, and resources can provide solace, guidance, and a sense of community for individuals navigating the complexities of divorce. Ultimately, the way we engage with social media during the divorce process is a reflection of our values, priorities, and boundaries. It can be tempting to air our grievances or seek validation online. It's important to consider the potential consequences and exercise discretion in our digital interactions. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. Should you have any questions on today's topic or other financial planning issues, please reach out to me, email, call. Divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. All the best. Hello and welcome to Breaking Ties Destination Divorce. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. Today, we're going to really look into a sensitive topic that many parents grapple with during the divorce process: sharing the reasons for the divorce with their children. As we know, divorce is extremely challenging and, it's an emotionally charged experience for families, especially when there are children involved. As parents, we often struggle with how much to disclose to our children about the reasons behind the divorce. So, how do we navigate this delicate conversation with our kids? Well, it's important to approach the topic with honesty, empathy, and age-appropriate communication. While the details of the divorce may be too complex or distressing for younger children to understand, older children and teenagers may benefit from a more candid conversation about the reasons for divorce. When sharing the reasons for a divorce with your children, keep the following tips in mind. First, prioritize the emotional well-being of your children. Divorce can be a confusing and distressing experience for children, and they really need a reassurance that they are loved and supported by both parents, regardless of the circumstances. Be honest but tactful when discussing the reasons for the divorce. Avoid placing blame or assigning fault, as this can create feelings of guilt or resentment in your children. Instead, focus on explaining the situation in a neutral and non-confrontational manner. Encourage open dialogue and allow your children to ask questions. Be prepared to listen attentively to their concerns and emotions, and validate their feelings throughout the conversation. Reassure them that their thoughts and feelings are valid and that you are there to support them every step of the way. It's also important to emphasize that the decision to divorce is not their fault and that they are not responsible for fixing or resolving the situation. Children may internalize feelings of guilt or responsibility for their parents' divorce. So it's, pretty important to provide reassurance and support during this challenging time. And you might want to consider seeking support from a family therapist or counselor who can help facilitate constructive conversations and provide guidance on how to support your children throughout the divorce process. Above all, remember, the way you handle the conversation about divorce can have a lasting impact on your children's emotional well-being. By approaching the topic with honesty, empathy, and sensitivity, you can help your children navigate this difficult transition with, grace and time. I want to thank you for joining me on today's episode of Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. Should you have any questions on today's topic or any other financial planning issues, please reach out to me. Email, call, information's in the description. Divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. And with that, take care.
We want to thank you for listening to this episode of Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce with Mike Fulkerson. For questions, please reach out to Mike via email in the description or give him a shout at 630-444-1410. Remember to subscribe, like, and follow.